Joe?
Joe, what happened in the second half there? A lot of turnovers, offensive rebound. Just didn't seem like you guys had the attention to detail that you're looking for.
I mean, you had 42-point half. So, I think our offense put pressure on our defense, and then, like you said, they got 16 offensive rebounds to our 8, and they were able to take advantage of that. So, I didn't have a great offensive half, and didn't do a great job finishing possessions with a rebound, and Sacramento took advantage of that.
8 and 7 over the last 15. How would you explain some of the inconsistency? Obviously, you guys got out of the road trip what you wanted to, but then to have this result after that, how would you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say the inconsistencies on the offensive end, putting pressure on your defense. Again, the 42-point half puts pressure. You got to be able to score, and then you got to be able to defend. So, just those inconsistencies on the offensive end at times, whether it's shot making, whether it's execution, whether it's spacing. But I would sum it up to that.
Joe, you had called a timeout earlier in the fourth quarter when they made a run, but then when Monk got the open three, then Sabonis got the rebound and he hit his open three, you called another. It seemed like it was an effort issue there. Why is effort becoming an issue? Is it an issue, and why is the fourth quarter becoming such a troublesome stretch for you guys?
Yeah, I would say when you're having inefficient offense, it puts pressure on your defense, and so I don't think it's a long-term effort thing. I think you have you hold a team like that to a 19-point quarter and a 23-point quarter, and you have two 21-point quarters. I think that just wears on you, and so whether it's shot making, whether it's execution, whether it's spacing, I think that takes a toll on you. And then again, if you're going to shoot 28% from three, you're going to have to do a bunch of other things really, really, really well, and it puts pressure on your defense throughout the game. So we have to be better there.
Joe, it was obviously going to go the fourth quarter. It was going to be a tough game, even though they didn't have Fox. But they just seemed to play harder than you guys in the fourth. I mean, they got rebounds. Yeah. They took 20 more shots. That seems to be effort. That's not just
like I said, yeah, it was. It is because, if you're having empty possession after empty possession and then they're scoring, that takes a toll on you. And so, yeah, I said it's not a long-term effort thing, but in the short term, yeah, I think our inefficient offense put pressure on our defense, and they were able to take advantage of that with high-level, with effort plays, whether it was offensive rebounding, open threes, and you're coming down missing them, and they're coming down making them. It's going to take a toll on you. So definitely a short term, without a doubt, yeah.
Joe, earlier in the season, you guys were pretty consistently out-shooting your opponents in terms of volume, and obviously tonight was the offensive rebounding, but lately it feels like that gap has been dwindling a little, like teams have done a better job of either taking more threes than you or getting more shots than you guys. What have you seen that's gone into that sort of shift?
What part?
In terms of
like the shot margin in general?
Do you think it's you guys not fighting for the right shots? Do you think they're putting extra pressure? Like, how do you think teams are, like, why aren't you guys getting the same, volume advantage that you were earlier in the year?
Yeah, I know. I'd have to take a look at that to see what I was. I don't remember it being too in the beginning of the season. We weren't dominating the shot margin. We won it the last 3 or 4 games, I believe. Tonight, I just thought they out-rebounded. They just killed us on the glass. They wanted possessions more on that end of the floor. They got more offensive rebounds than we did, and they wanted it more from that standpoint. So they were able to win the shot margin there.
And then in terms of the volumes of threes, do you see teams actively trying to chase you guys off the three-point line and sort of not bait you, but get you to take other shots other than threes because of how good you guys are at that? And do you think you guys need to fight harder to maintain the three-point heavy style that was working earlier in the year?
I think it's been about taking the right shot. And so tonight they were switching second half, and we were able to get some decent stuff with KP in the paint. But to me, it's just more about fighting for the right shot, regardless of what that is. When you're open, you got to make it. If not, you drive it and you make the right play.
To the point about rebounding, what was Sabonis doing that was giving you guys so many problems, or what were you guys not doing against him?
Offensively, he had 8 offensive rebounds. Some of that comes from switching, and then when you're switching and you have a small on them, and he's able to take advantage of that. Some of them he just kind of outworked us for him. So it's one of the best things that he does. You got to match his effort every possession, and he did it more than we did.
Joe, one of the hallmarks I think of last year's team was you weren't falling into the little traps along the way in an NBA season, playing down to competition. First game back after a long road trip, those types of things. This year it seems to be happening a little bit more. Why is it happening a little bit more this season?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think tonight, I think Sacramento's a revived team. They won 6 in a row now, so they're a good team, and they just outplayed us. So I don't have an answer as far as that stuff. But tonight, I know they just played better than we did, and they're a revived team that just played better than us.
Questions, and then Noah.
You said before the game, it almost sounded like a warning. You're like, I liked the connectivity during this trip, but the challenge is continuing it. What kind of, I don't know, what are there any sense you had or reason that guys might not be connected tonight, and what did you see in that connectivity area?
Not really. That's just kind of happens. Whether it's you have a lot of games in a row, a lot of games at home, it's really just fighting for that continuity. So it wasn't. I didn't mean it for it to be a warning. It's really just more of kind of like looking at it from the perspective of you got into this little rhythm. Now we're back into a different one. We have to fight to keep the same connectivity. I didn't mean for it to be that, but that's kind of how it played out.
Just a logistical question on the three-point shooting. Do you think nights like tonight, when you guys are shooting sub 30%, is that more you're just missing shots, or is it more like because you're missing shots, you're taking bad shots to try to work out of a bad offense, if that makes sense? Like, what's happening first? Just missing open looks, or bad execution forcing you guys into shots that are maybe not what you would normally go for?
That's a good question. I'd say it's a little bit of both. And I thought in the first half we got some good looks. I thought in the second half we forced some. So I'd say it's a combination of both.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.